Okay, in this teaching module, we're looking at Adam Smith, and from his book, The Wealth of Nations in 1776, Adam Smith develops a system of wealth creation based on the extent of the market. So let's look at this model that Smith creates. So this is an example of circular and cumulative causation. A model of circular and cumulative causation. And our starting point is the specialization of labor. So for Smith, the commercial era or the capitalist process, after the divine right to rule, now under the Enlightenment and the rights of the individual, Smith builds a system to show how wealth is created. So you start with specialization of labor. Then this specialization of labor leads to trade and an increase in the extent of the market. So specialization of labor leads to trade and an increase in the extent of the market. As you do something over and over again, you get better at it than others, and therefore then you have the ability to trade in the market, extent of the market. Then this trade then creates profit and capital accumulation and capital investment. And by definition, all investment is in labor-saving devices. So the modern scare about robotics and that is a false consciousness, a false premise, because all investment is in labor-saving devices. So then this profit and capital accumulation and investment then leads to more specialization of labor, which leads to more trade and an increase in the extent of the market, which leads to more capital accumulation and investment. And this virtuous circle is the circle of wealth creation, or the wealth of nations. So this idea is that the individuals pursuing their own self-interest, craftsmanship, trade, seeking of a profit, Smith calls this the invisible hand. Properties and societies form based upon this trade, or what Hayek would call it, 1945, decentralized society organizes around the price signal. And so this society is guided by what's seen as an invisible hand. And there's been debate in the history of thought about what exactly is the invisible hand. Some people believe it's a metaphor for God. Other people believe it's a metaphor for the rule of law or for free trade, the invisible hand. And Smith is also known for saying the rising tide raises all boats. So when we looked at the market and the economic growth caused through the market, allowed through the market, lowering levels of absolute poverty, that's an example of the market and the rising tide raising all boats, reducing absolute poverty. So we can look at this Smith's extent of the market and wealth creation as a virtuous circle. But you also can model this using circular and cumulative causation. You can have a vicious circle, such as the current welfare capital or crony capitalism or political capitalism period after the 2008-2009 bailouts. You have a vicious circle of rent-seeking, debt creation, money printing, and special interest bailouts. So this modern capitalism or political capitalism is the exact opposite of what Smith visualized as wealth creation. Thank you. That creates our teaching module on Adam Smith, Extent of the Market and Wealth Creation.